Okay, Puffy, episode 51. Here we come. Who's 51? Quick.
Brian Campbell was sort of an offensive defenseman, probably best known for the Chicago Blackhawk years in the early 2010s. Won a cup with the Blackhawks, signed a big money deal, I think with Buffalo, never kind of hit those heights again, but good player, Good guy. Soupy, as he's known.
Soupy.
As most
yes,
Campbells
I was just about
are.
to say, any Campbell that I've ever known gets the nickname Soupy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just par for the course.
Yeah, it's a good nickname. I like it.
That's good. That's good. And we're coming off a good weekend with you and your teams. Like, how was your weekend you just had?
Pretty good. GTHL has us on a bit of a Friday-Sunday schedule. Not Sunday's our home date, so that makes sense. We're Sunday mornings. Friday night, actually, the boys, we had a divide and conquer. So Tanya was with Barrett's team at Herb Carnegie, and they played Goulding Park and had a nice win. Austin and I were at one of my favorite rinks, North Toronto. We lost to North Toronto, but we played pretty well. Still had some fries after the game. It was a late fries too, because our game was at like 9:00, and we just, or maybe 8:25, but we just beat the snack bar. We got fries. I actually thought about going back for another set. They were closed. But fries are good. They are not Ted Reeve fries, which I also had this weekend.
You had on Sunday
night. They are pretty close.
Because I saw you on Sunday night. We do at some point this season do like a fry poll. Like, let's crown a fry winner. And we'll make a little round robin of all the rinks, and then they can go toe to toe, and then one wins, and we'll have the battle of the fries.
Who gets the best fries in the city?
Yeah, the best fries. Arena fries, I guess.
Arena fries. And then on Sunday, we had our home openers at Scarborough Village and Austin's team. We had a good game. We played well. We came up short against Ice Raiders, but we played well. And then Barrett's team played Markham Islanders, and we almost saw the rare trifecta of Markham had a player kicked out for language, and then a parent got kicked out for yelling at the referee. Separate incidents. It wasn't about him yelling at the
same one. Was it
had nothing to do with the kid getting kicked out.
Was it his?
So
parent?
It wasn't his parent. It was I think it might have been the goalie's parent, because he was yelling at the ref because the goalie knocked off the net. You know that happens. Now they're getting bigger. The nets get knocked off more. And I don't know if he was telling him, next time you're going to get a penalty, or if he was just talking to him, whatever. But the one parent on Markham did not like this conversation at all. It was screaming at the ref. It finally calmed down. And then later in the game, our goalie, the net came off, and then he was yelling at the ref, "Why aren't you talking to him?" And he did not let it go. And good on the ref, turned around, pointed, and booted him out. So good on them. They did not have their coach kicked.
What would have been the trifecta? Yeah, the coach. Okay.
Yeah, if the coach got booted out too. And then from all accounts, the coach, I did not see him losing his temper at all. It wasn't like it was close or something, but it was not the best morning for Markham.
Oh, well. It is what it is. But and you won that game, I'm assuming, too. Then.
Yeah, the Ticats.
Yeah. That's good. Well, we're coming off hard weekend of losses. Big L weekend for the GCAT family over here. We had a Saturday-Sunday match. Saturday, I saw you at both. So people that don't truly understand Puffy, he literally came to both of my son's games on Saturday and Sunday as well on hhis way to work. And after visiting someone else's friend's son play on Sunday night before the game of my son. So, if anyone ever said you weren't really a fan of this hockey, they are fully mistaken, because you are a genuine fan. You were there for many of our games. So I saw you twice this weekend, which is always nice. It's actually always really nice to see you there. And so we played Don Mills, our frenemy. They are our rival, in many ways. And for whatever reason, we just can't, they're up on us 70-30 kind of thing. And it probably of recent years, maybe more like 80-20.
Well, it was a great game. The first period, they did dominate you pretty good. But the second period, you guys pushed back nicely, and it was 2-1 after 2, I believe. But
that's right.
It was a well played game, and it was getting a little chippy though.
Yeah,
when I left. Did it continue?
It always gets chippy with that team. Like, I don't know what it is. We're like oil and water. Like like everything from the and I know a bunch of the parents, and the coach Carl and everything, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's just it's a chippy environment between those two teams. And then on Sunday we played Avenue Ducks, which are a very strong team. They still have that one player Jacobs who just really dominates. It's like unbelievable on how much he dominates, and
he's very good.
We pulled up short on that one as well. So a couple of losses. Clive, same thing. He played his old team, his rival team, Leaside. Up at Don Mills, and it's half ice, and it's sort of like you're trying to keep track. So one side won, one side lost. The side Clive was on, they ended up losing. But c'est la vie, such as that. But a couple of things I'll say is I'm really, as you get in these age, you after you 15, I guess, you get the flood right after the second. So you're getting that with Barrett now, right?
Yes.
So at first I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like it actually kind of gives them a chance to regroup if they're down or rally if they're up. It gives them, new ice, all those kinds of things. Okay, a year and a bit into it, I'm against it. It's another thing I'm against. Last week I was against half ice. Now I'm against the break. Only because I'm not against the break of the flood, because I'm sure, great. But I believe, for our team at least, for Ted Reeve, we lose a lot of momentum when we go into that change room. Mm-hmm. So when we're down, I don't really think it helps us rally back up there. And if we're up, we sort of lose momentum. And I really am not, I was telling you this on, I think both days that I saw you, that I'm not a big fan of the going to the change room after. I think it would be, and I've seen a couple teams do what I think might be all right, is they actually just sit on the bench.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people.
And they just stay there and they let the Zamboni go, but they stay on the bench and don't let them take off their helmets and don't let them, get, comfortable. So, maybe that's something, but I don't know. I can really feel the trajectory of our team usually when we go off the ice. Unless it's, I guess one way or the other, but
I haven't noticed it to be that big a deal for the Ticats, but the hockey usually starts off a little slow in that third period from both teams. Yeah. It's not been like teams have come out humming. So so I don't know what the key is to that.
I don't know if
there's
going to
have the secret sauce.
I just think I did see a team or two stay on the bench, and I was like, we should give that a try, especially if it's a close game. If it's like 3-2 or something, stay right there. We have the granola bar after the game. I
think you should not let the kids get undressed though in that little window.
Yeah, I have no idea what they do, to be honest. Yeah, no, I don't think they do that.
I think most teams don't let them kids get, but I've heard sometimes kids are taking off taking their shoulder pads and stuff off.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not too sure if that happens, but the other thing I heard you say was you played Goulding Park. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How were they?
They were pretty good. They've been a team that's sort of been more towards the 7, 8, 9 position through our years. But they've definitely added some talent this year, so they're looking good.
Yeah. And do you know anything about Goulding Park?
I only know the arena is kind of near Yonge Street and Steeles or something. And so North York, that's all I kind of know about it. They're the Rangers, of course.
Right. Would you like to? Yeah, of course. Everyone's a Ranger, as you know.
Yeah.
If you have a hockey team, it's the Rangers. We should have a To the Rink Rangers team. Yes. Do you want to know a little bit more about Goulding Park?
Oh, well, do you know more about Goulding Park, G?
Well, it's funny you ask. Let me tell you a little bit about Goulding Park.
Oh, nice.
It is it's named after the Goulding family, if you can believe it. Goulding Park, early settlers who contributed to the development of the North York area, actually. They arrived in the Toronto region around the mid-1900s, so I know you like these olden-timey days.
I do.
Yeah, but imagine, I'm going to, for a second there, your family in the 1800s. Now you got a GTHL team named after you. You don't even know.
You're pretty good.
Pretty good, eh? So they were up there in North York, and they owned significant farmland at Yonge and Steeles, which
that would make sense.
Which is I think, where did you grow up there? Up that way?
I grew up Bayview and Shepherd. So not too far from there. That was definitely my hood still. Yeah, but this was a largely underdeveloped part of Upper Canada, which I believe is Upper Canada Mall there too, isn't it? There is a mall. I can't remember what it was called when I was a kid. It wasn't Upper Canada Mall.
Anyway,
but I remember seeing Return of the Jedi there when I was 9 years old.
Well, they were a large part of the community who developed the area farming, small settlements. And really that whole area was really known for its farmland. And then over time, the transition to urbanization in the mid 20th century, Toronto expanded northwards towards North York and transitioning that area from rural to urban areas, particularly after World War II. Then the population grew and they converted all the old farmlands, including the old Goulding Park family farm, into residential areas. This was the creation, though, of what we know today as Goulding Park. I was waiting for yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So
there actually is a Goulding Park,
there is a Goulding Park. It's the family's former farmland, which was set aside, a portion of it for public use, leading to the establishment of Goulding Park. The dedication of this park was named in the family's honor, and saving a little local heritage of that area. It's located near Yonge Street, one of Toronto's most historical arteries. And then by North York became part of Toronto in 1998, and areas like Goulding Park became an integral part of the urban landscape of what we call Toronto. And so after that, they had the Goulding Park Community Center. This park hosts a whole bunch of stuff there, has a great sports facility. And so it's the park represents the evolution of North York, honoring the contributions of early families like the Gouldings who helped lay the foundation is now what is a thriving urban community. And that is a little bit about Goulding Park and why it's called Goulding Park. So there you go.
Nice. Well, It's a live barn arena, so that makes it good to me.
That's good. Well, why don't with that, live barn arenas are all over the place and they're hosting lots of games every week. So it's probably time to pull up the stock market to see what is happening this week in the stock market. There he is.
Yes, what is happening, gentlemen? How's it going?
Our DMs here, like good. Big Bird on Sesame Street.
Absolutely. Yeah, myself centered there. Now, I did have an idea listening to your Fry debate there.
Yes,
that we should have a vote to determine the top 3 arenas for Fries, and then we have to do a little on location research to crown the true winner between us 3 judges. So
okay. I like it.
It'd be a solid idea. We'll throw that out there.
Yes,
for the listeners.
Perfect.
The round robin was going to require a whole lot of fries.
Yeah, that calorie intake might have been difficult.
Puffy wasn't going to flinch on that one.
I was willing to go. I was willing to do it for the research.
Well, he's willing to take one for the team, that's for sure. That's what we love about Puff, and that's what we love about the G. So let's get right back into it for another stock market edition. And we're now another week into the GTHL, Puffy, and things are beginning to take shape across the different divisions. We had a huge game this past week in the under 16 AAA division. So let's start there. How did things shake out?
Well, Stoff, it doesn't get much bigger in the GTHL these days than when you have the 09 DMF take on the Toronto Titans. These two rivals have gone back and forth over the years, with both teams having their share of success. The first league meeting this year took place on Saturday at Scotia Pond. Rink won, of course, and in a bit of a surprise, the second-ranked in Ontario Toronto Titans beat the top-ranked Flyers 4-1. The 3-goal loss was the largest defeat for the Flyers in a GTHL game since before the start of COVID. The Flyers did bounce back with a big 7-0 win over the Red Wings Tuesday night to remain in top spot, but these two teams are going to be neck and neck all season long.
Well, looking forward to seeing that play out.
Those are the two to watch, the Toronto Titans and the Don Mills Flyers. Those are the ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would expect those are going to be the final 2 teams in the OHL Cup this year.
Is there a third that's like on their heels, or is it just
JRC? We've talked about JRC earlier, and they are definitely the third team. And there's a few other teams. North York, I think, is pretty good.
Gotta
have some love for the Kings.
Well, the Kings are okay. I wouldn't say they're quite at that same level.
Okay. Maybe they need a little pep talk. We'll see. Well, Puffy, the 2009 age group wasn't the only one to host a battle at the top. The 2010 AAA age group also had a matchup of 2 of the best in the G. Tell us more about that.
This is true stuff, and you might want to cover your ears for this one. Your Vaughan Kings, the top-ranked in Ontario at the time, faced off against the second-ranked in Ontario, Mississauga Senators at Westwood last Saturday. expectations were high for a tight matchup, but only one team came ready to play. Aided by 3 shorthanded goals, the Sens steamrolled the Kings 7-1 and moved ahead of the Kings into top spot in the rankings. GTHL teams in the 2010 age group are currently holding down the top 7 spots in the Ontario rankings, with the Senators and Kings followed by the Markham Majors, JRC, Toronto Marlboros, Don Mills Flyers, and Reps. Even the 8th place Mississauga Rebels are the 12th ranked team in the province. So an incredible depth of talent on display at this age group.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see some of the birth certificates on that Senators team.
They're giants, some of those kids.
I'm not fully buying it. Great play in the G isn't only seen at the AAA level. I hear there is a team in the east side of Toronto. Puffy, whose stock has been on the rise since last spring?
For sure, Stoff, the Scarborough Ice Raiders 2010 single A team has been steadily improving over the last few years. 2 years ago, they finished in 11th place out of 13 teams, winning only 4 regular season games. Last year, a few changes helped move them up the standings into 4th place in the regular season, followed by a surprising run to the East Final, losing to a very good Forest Hill team. This season, a few more additions, and now they are the team to beat in the East. A disappointing overtime loss to the Toronto Eagles in the Brian Steele early bird semifinals has proven to be just a blip on the Ice Raiders' road to the top. A 3-0-1 start to the regular season has them in first place in the East and top spot in the Ontario rankings. It should be a very competitive single A East division at this age group, but the Ice Raiders are the stock I'm buying at this point in the season.
Ooh, big on the Ice Raiders. I like it. Now, we have covered a lot of older teams so far. So are any of the new age groups coming to the G and showing out to start the season?
For sure. Lots of new G teams are off to great starts. The 2015 age group U10 AA out west has the Vaughan Panthers off to a great start. Their 5-0 start to the regular season has them tied with the Mississauga North Stars for top spot in the West. Overall, the Panthers are 8-0, having outscored their opponents 41-11 and sit second in the Ontario rankings just behind the Peterborough Petes. Great start for a great organization.
Terrific start for them. And Puffy, we finish on a sour note.
Yes.
What's making you frown in the GTHL this week? Let him have it.
Well, Stoff, I hate to say it, but Live Barn has not been as reliable this season as last year, with lots of games on demand blacked out. I did reach out to Live Barn with my concerns, and they tried to shuttle the blame to the GTHL. I don't want to complain too much because the fact we can watch our kids play hockey games from home is a great thing, and I feel fortunate to be able to do it. Having said that, I hope we can get on the same page so that everything that should be available is available.
So some of the games are blacked out, you're saying? You can't?
Yeah, so the game's played on Live Barn, and then you can watch it the next day, say, if you missed it, and it's being blacked out right now. And
like the on-demand feature of it.
The on-demand feature. And so when I was asked them about that, they said that, well, the only games that are scheduled in the G are available on demand, but I'm like, these were scheduled games in the G, so they should be ready to go.
I smell a plus subscription type scenario here, where they're trying to start charging. They want to see how many guys are going to complain.
They want a commercial-free subscription here. It goes up a little bit.
I did ask them. I said, I have a podcast on minor hockey in Toronto. Would love to have you on to talk about this. Crickets. They did not respond.
Oh, no, really?
No comment, as they say.
No comment.
Customer service.
They didn't even give me a no comment. They just, because it was quick. It was back and forth, was very quick, very quick. I'll give them credit. Very good response time. But then.
Well, we kind of know some people there, I think, don't we? We should ask them if they want to come on.
Yeah, we got to figure something out. I just like to talk to them about it, but
we'll see. I would too. Actually, that'd be interesting.
All right. Well, tough week for my Kings, I guess. Tough week for the Live Barn.
Yes.
Hopefully the Fries will make up for it all. Don't forget to vote. See you next week, guys.
We'll see you next week, Stoff.
Awesome. Thanks, Stoff. All right. Well, that's good stuff. So things are moving. it's really, I feel like this whole season we're going to be talking about the Titans and the Don Mills Flyers. So I've actually got I can't say who or anything yet, but I think I've got a Titans player coming on to the show here. So
that would be
working
amazing.
out the details on trying to get one to come on. So I've got a Titans, and then we'll do see if we can get a Flyer after a 1-2.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. Hey, question for you though.
Yes.
Monday night, watching the Leaf game. I know I'm going to step away from it. It's on Prime now. When did that happen?
So that happened late last season. So Rogers had the exclusive national rights to Canadian NHL games with their 12-year deal. And now they're in the second last year. And so late last year, they negotiated with Amazon to give up their Monday night to Amazon. So Amazon took that over for the last 2 years of the deal. And my good buddy Adnan Verk's the host. Yeah. I know they're working through some, as every new broadcaster would. Sure. They're trying to figure out.
So every Monday night,
looking for every Monday night they Prime and they're doing games from. It's just Canadian teams, not all Canadian matchups, but they'll always be a Canadian.
The Canadian team, got it.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Did you like it? I don't love watching it on a streamer. Because I'm a flipper, especially with sports.
Yeah.
Once I'm on the stream, I'm like, okay, now I got to go to my like. It's just more
locked in. You're more locked.
Sort of locked in on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you go off it, you got to go back in. And it's like, start from the beginning. Like, no, I want to get back to where I am. And sometimes it works. And I hear you. Yeah, I was actually just surprised. I just didn't know it. That was not on my radar at all. And so I went to go put it on. I was like, where's the game? And
I think it'll be the future. I think that they'll be involved in the next deal. So,
yeah, I think so too. And then, second question: what's the Frozen Frenzy? Do you know what that is?
So that was. I'm glad you're asking me today and not last week, because I would have been like, But it was the NHL does this every year now, and they have one game. It was weird. They did it it was Tuesday night. They did it. We were working. We had the Leaf game, and what they do is every team plays, all 32 teams, and I think the first game started at 6, and a new game started every 15 minutes all night till 11 o'clock was the last game. Okay. And so everyone plays. It's a very, I don't know, that usually doesn't happen where every team plays in a night.
Right. And then they try to televise. Like, is it on television? Just like cycling?
Well, I mean, yeah, like there's national games and stuff. Ours wasn't though. We were a regional game. It's just more about the NHL, every team's playing,
saying every team's playing.
But it was weird. They did it on opening night of the NBA season. I thought a Saturday would probably make more sense, but that's when they did it. And you're not alone in not wondering what it was.
Yeah, I just saw an article or a meme and it said something about blah 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 Frozen Frenzy. I was like, all right, something else I have to Google here, or in many cases, just ask Sean, just ask Puff.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all good. That's great. So lots on the go. What about now? And we also just came off. I want to also say we had a great conversation with your friend James Duthie. We just had that episode come out. That was really nice of him to do that. So thanks again. So that kicked off our interview. So we have got a couple interviews lined up now. So we'll have interviews every week going forward for the next.
Yeah, for the next bit for sure.
Which is great. So anyway, with that, do you have a busy week ahead? You got a busy weekend?
We're back to the weekend schedule. We got both boys are playing Friday. Austin's at Leaside, Barrett's at North Toronto, and then we have our Sunday home games Sunday morning at Scarborough Village. The Scarborough Village morning now, it's like heaven for me. So Austin's game is like 9:10, so we have to get there for like 8:10 or whatever. So we watch the game before Austin's game, which is I think going to be U11 AA EastEnders. Okay. Then it's Austin's game. Then it's the U14 single A EastEnders, and then it's Barrett's game. So I got 4 games in a row, and I have to be there. There's nothing I can do about it. I have to watch the games. Can do.
That's it. I like it. All right. That's Sunday mornings?
But from 8 a.m. to like 1:30, I think we walked out of there.
You're there. Wow.
It was a long stretch.
Their snack bar's mid.
I don't even know if they have a snack bar.
Yeah, they have it in that warm room area.
Oh, they do? I haven't even checked it out. And stuff. We go to Timmy's.
Yeah, up on the corner. All right. Well, with that, I don't know what I have this weekend. If I'm being totally honest with you. So I'll have to tell you next week because I think we have a game
I think
Friday.
you probably have a Sunday night game.
And we have a Sunday night game. I don't know who they're against, and I'm not ready to look at what it is. So I'll let you know who it is later. But we have a couple games this weekend, I know for sure. Ozzy's been reffing too, so we'll talk. We'll come back to that, and and we have the CDS program going off, so lots on that. But
you are a Friday night at Larry Grossman.
Oh, there you go.
And then Sunday night at Ted Reeve against the Goulding Park Rangers.
Oh, there you go. Listen, I hope we could. And now I know. Now I know what I'm dealing with. So with that, Puff, song of the week, man, we're at the end. Song of the week. You got one for us?
Yes, I do. I was working on CFL last weekend, and I had to cut a couple of teases, which is like the openings for the games. And the song I was given is by Alessio and Nate Smith called "I Like It." And it was actually a pretty good banger to cut a tease to. And they both worked out well. And then Barrett's been on the song all week. So that's my song of the week.
Nice. I have one, I don't know that song, so I'll have to check it out when Stoff puts it on. But my song is Ain't No Love in Oklahoma by Luke Compton Country today.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
Oh my gosh, that's a great song. And it sounds like Chris Stapleton right when it starts.
Yeah.
And that's who I thought it was, but then Ozzy's been playing it a lot, and I found out it's Luke Compton. So it's like great tune. I'm turning the corner on some country. So
that Twister soundtrack is good.
Yes, I've heard. Well, that song's great. So
yeah.
So that's it. Anything else, Puff, for this week? We got a couple good songs, a couple good games. The stock market.
Yeah, we got
Goulding Park.
There's a big tournament this weekend. AAA at Scotia Pond and Chesswood. The Tyler Craig Memorial JRC tournament. Lots of AAA teams from I think U10 to U15. So should be good.
Okay, good. Well, best of luck to that. We'll have to find out who won that. And yeah, that's great. So other than that, Puff, good luck this weekend. We'll see you at the rink, I'm sure, at some point.
I think I'll probably at
Sunday nights. We'll see you there. Other than that, Stoff, thanks so much. Everyone else, thanks for listening. Subscribe, share, like, let your friends know. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other great places to follow us. So please do, and we really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, send us our way through the DMs on at To The Rink on Instagram. So everyone have a great week, and all the best to you and your games in the GTHL. Puffy, anything else?
That's it. Just be safe and have fun. Stay off the referees.
Yes.
And watch your language.
There you go. Great. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.